Oh, I'll take. You have more games? I'll take some games.
Chris woke up.
Chris
Pre-order, yeah.
Oh, pre-order. Nice. Pre-orders. I like it.
Yeah.
My VHS were a pre-order.
Oh, yeah. You know how this goes.
Oh, yeah.
Does it say Sculptor's Cut?
No.
Boo. You almost had it. It was almost accomplished.
Keeping the blue ticket market just completely in business.
They are.
We're going to the swap meet today because I'm ready to finish the N64 hunt.
Remember Graham, who was... He's here this morning and he has some goodies.
Ooh.
I have the complete set. Everything except for one manual, and that is for the game Clayfighter Sculptor's Cut.
Video games have their own parody-style games, one of which is the Clayfighter series, which in this video we're going to get into a lot of today.
Our first stop is to Graham, who said, I've got some more stuff for you that's going to help you build up the funds to finish the hunt. Come and see me as soon as you get there. He was not wrong. When we get over to Graham's booth, we see Chris and Blake, and we decide we're going to game hunt together, which should create for a more interesting and fun morning. It's always better when you're with a group of friends, as long as the competition doesn't result in violence. Physically. Some of these might actually be box upgrades for my collection. Mario Kart 64, this is not the greatest hits version, it's the regular one. Same with Super Mario 64, this is mint. And then we've got a sealed copy of Star Wars Rogue Squadron. And then we have the subject of today's video, Clayfighter 63 1/3. But to tell you more about Clayfighter 63 1/3, I need to put on a different sweater. Thanks, Mort. Let me put on Professor Mort's sweater so you can tell the difference between the two of us. In March 1991, a revolution in video gaming came to the arcades in the form of Street Fighter II. Street Fighter II featured fantastical stages and characters fighting one another with their own movesets and combos in a best-of-3 match, the winner of whom would go on to face the next opponent. A year and a half later, in October 1992, Mortal Kombat came onto the scene as a competitor to Street Fighter II, presenting itself as the mature, gory rival for fighting game fans. Both game series were wildly successful, spawning their own TV shows, movies, toys, and all kinds of iterations and sequels that would soon follow. Street Fighter II and Mortal Kombat established the building blocks of the fighting game genre, which to this day is one of the most popular genres in all of video games. But how do you stand out if you're not one of those series and you want to take a different angle on it? Enter the game series Clayfighter. Parody is a very fun and important part of the entertainment experience. Thanks to Star Wars, we got Spaceballs. Thanks to pop music, we got Weird Al Yankovic. Thanks to fighting games, we got Clayfighter. Clayfighter is a graphically ambitious one-on-one fighting game that serves as a parody of the fighting game genre. It survives far more on its presentation and graphics rather than on the gameplay itself. The first game in the series released in November 1993. It features 9 stages and 9 characters and sold around 200,000 copies, which was considered a success. Critics at the time gave decently positive reviews with scores like 7s and 8s across the board. In revisiting the game today, it's hard to go back to if you've never played it before. The graphics, though charming for their time, don't really hold up by today's standards, and the gameplay is a clunky, broken mess. Notably, there was a Blockbuster exclusive that came out before Sculptor's Cut that was a direct follow-up to this game called Clayfighter Tournament Edition. Though it fixed some bugs and added a tournament mode, it's still basically the same game and still gets basically the same score. Graham also had some NES games that I was very interested in for the manual, but actually one for the collection. The first is Super Mario Bros. 3. This is a pretty good, if not really good condition, complete in-box copy of the game. The other is Tetris. This version of Tetris, known as Tengen Tetris, is actually a very unique version of the game because it was recalled from store shelves. The Gaming Historian has an incredible documentary on the subject on his channel. You must see it. The link is in the description below. But what's unique about this one is that it made it to store shelves, about 100,000 copies sold, and then it was recalled from store shelves, and it's estimated that about 268,000 copies of this game were not only removed from store shelves, but they were destroyed.
You ready for some toy time?
I do like toy time.
What did you just
Go
grab?
home and play. This is Sub-Zero.
Play for the A's the whole
Pretty
time.
cool.
Nintendo gets the home console rights, and they gave us this version of the game, which is the one that most of us probably had growing up as kids. What's unique is that this version, the Tengen one, has a 2-player mode on it, and this one only has a 1-player mode on it.
All right, this is going to be my pile from you this morning. Holy smokes.
It's a good file.
Bro,
Pile.
that's a good pile.
That is a really good pile.
I'm still looking for different items for my collection, and it's awesome to be able to come across items like this out on the hunt.
Got these for 400 and then another 100 on these two. So 500 total for the whole lot. Unbelievable.
Graham, thank you for your generosity. This helps me get that much closer to the manual. That's a way to start.
That's, yeah, but where do we go from here?
We go that way, I think.
Go that way?
Yeah,
Okay, let's go that way.
So, anything you're looking for today?
Not really. Friendship and hanging out with you.
As we move forward, I just want to let you know Mike got a bit of a promotion today. He's not just Mike, he's cameraman Mike. Everybody give a word of congratulations to Mike in the comments below. Huzzah! I see some games over at this table, and we find a couple of different things that I'm going to grab. The first one is this disc-only copy of Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2. I didn't like this one as much as the first one, the on-foot missions. I don't know how they biffed the controls on that so bad. Second, though, is this 25th anniversary Nintendo Wii Super Mario History soundtrack. This is really cool because this came with a set. Let me show you the set. To celebrate Mario's 25th anniversary on the Nintendo Wii, we got this box set which had Super Mario All-Stars on the Nintendo Wii. This was actually pretty hard to find, and people were scrambling for it when it initially came out. Super Mario All-Stars game looks like this. This is what came in the box set, but you gotta have this to make it complete. They also had Mortal Kombat Deception. This is the one with puzzle combat. They have like a puzzle fighter mode on it, chess combat, and adventure mode. I love what they were doing with the series at that time. Even though I'm not like the biggest Mortal Kombat fan, I still love the puzzle combat version. It's a lot of fun. Blake's gonna have a booth at SoCal Gaming Expo, which everyone who's watching this video needs to get tickets, right, Chris?
Yes.
Bro, you got moves.
You go to the gym over there?
Blake's gonna have a booth as a vendor. It's his first time.
Selling some wigs this time.
Everybody comment below, would you buy a wig of Blake's hair at SoCal Gaming Expo? What's your favorite song to dance to if you're at the club right now? And by the way, either one, facial hair or
Either
top
one.
of head hair.
It doesn't matter.
Gotta be a wig.
Yeah.
Might be a knit crochet one.
Yes.
Did you just vape?
No.
My kids are listening to Spice Girls a lot right now.
Oh yeah?
They got a couple.
I can't think of a Spice Girls song.
I mean, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. What's your jam if you're at the club right now?
Oh, some like house music, some like eats.
Yeah, but you gotta name something by name.
Some like Jersey Talk.
Is that like an offshoot of the Jersey Boys?
Next up, we're at Dusty's booth, and he has tons of classic toys. A lot of old Japanese stuff I don't really have much familiarity with, but some stuff new in box, and then a bunch of random Evel Knievel things.
Chris is pooping on the computer games
We
to...
learned this strategy. Nobody will reach in. See? I dare you.
refuse to.
I dare you. Go ahead.
I won't.
Down in here. Dang,
Look how tall he is compared to you.
You're acting like I won't get close.
What's in there?
computer stuff.
Oh,
$10?
$10? You fun little toy for the boy. Awesome.
Treasure Quest. The old classic Treasure Quest game.
I don't remember this one.
No one does.
Let me tell you about the sequel to Clayfighter. Clayfighter 2, Judgment Clay. Released in January 1995 and developed over a period of about 6 months, the game was developed from the ground up with the old engine being thrown out entirely. The game featured 8 playable characters with 8 evil counterparts. I unfortunately could not find any sales figures about the game. Critics were less impressed with this one than they were with the original. Though the game did improve in speed and flow with the gameplay, it unfortunately took a notable step down in graphics and presentation. Was stoked to grab Splatoon 2 for $15. This is a great game in the series.
I love this game. This is the one that got me into Splatoon. Splatoon 3 has come out since, but if you haven't played this game, for $20, $25 or so, it's about what retail is on it. It's very much worth getting into and playing some multiplayer on this game. It'll suck away hours of your life. I'm gonna list that on my Goodiez store. Make sure you check out that storefront. The link's in the description below.
One of the main platforms that I'm using to sell a lot of the items in this series on is called Goodiez. It's a new buying, selling platform. They're sponsoring this series, but what I like about them is that if you as a buyer want something specifically, you can request it and list the price you want to pay, and then sellers can actually find you and what you want, and you guys can work out a deal. I have already done a few transactions on it. I had an extra copy of Super Mario Bros. 3, just the cartridge only. I found someone who was looking for it for a price that I was happy with. I just don't have time to go through and list everything all the time as much as I want to. I have a very busy life. So as a seller, it's a lot of fun to just find buyers that are like, I want this, and I can look through my inventory and go, oh, I've got that, and put it out for sale. What's awesome is if you want the new Princess Peach game on the Nintendo Switch, they're running a deal right now where if you buy it on Goodiez, it's only $45 brand new. Make sure you download it and try out the app. Let me know what you think about it. It's in beta, and they're still building up a lot, but I think it has a lot of promise and potential, and I'm excited to be working with them on this series. Chris had this come up on the Atari 7800. I see so much 2600 stuff out there, but I know very little about the 7800.
If only Chris had his own YouTube channel. Look at all of this stuff.
I'm in a buy mode today.
Bro.
It's buy mode day.
What is a game that I should try on the Atari 7800? Let me know in the comments below.
It is buy mode
Yeah,
day.
it's been a good one so far.
Yeah.
This one's pretty clean.
Oh,
It's
it's
resealed.
Yeah, it's probably a reseal. Maybe it's
Maybe
brand
it's
new.
not.
Oh,
It's sealed.
wow. Send it to Wada.
9.8.
I feel like we're just getting started, and Chris already has to go back to his car and unload a full wagon of items. This is a very promising morning so far, and there's a lot more to come.
I was digging through those Blu-rays. One that I'm always looking out for is a Blu-ray of the film The Fall. If you haven't seen it, it's by Tarsem Singh, who is visually unmatched as a director. And this film on Blu-ray, it's out of print, but it's gone way up in price. And it's one, if you see out there on Blu-ray, I'd get it just to watch it and keep it. It's a great film. There's so much cool stuff, like at every corner. There's just wildly unique collectibles and interesting things.
As Chris is doing his thing, I find this incredible PS3 lot.
How much is the PlayStation?
For everything, give me $100.
Now, a PS3 and a stack of games isn't by default that interesting to me. It depends on what the games are, especially if it's a bunch of random DVDs. I needed there to be a few games of value in the lot, and indeed, the first one I noticed was this one, Atelier Shally, Alchemist of the Dusk Sea. I don't know anything about these games. It's Koei Tecmo. I don't know, is it like a Dynasty Warriors? I don't know what this series is. I'll probably give it a try, actually. But then there's also some junk stuff like Madden 08, Disney's Epic Mickey 2, DJ Hero 2, stuff that I'll just throw in like a dollar bin. He also said anything video game related on the table he was willing to throw in, like this copy of Call of Duty on the PS4. I loved the Modern Warfare remaster. I thought it was awesome.
That PlayStation 3 was a beautiful little pickup for a number of reasons. Obviously, a stack of games, DVDs, everything was in there.
For $100, definitely worth the money, worth the risk. There's just a lot in this video. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Hey, other Mort, let's talk about Clayfighter. Clayfighter 63 1/3 was released in 1997 as a platform exclusive to the Nintendo 64, thus the 63 1/3 parody of the number 64. Clayfighter 63 1/3 introduces a number of mechanics to parody major fighting game series of the time. For example, in this game you could perform Claytalities, an obvious riff on Mortal Kombat's Fatalities. In addition to featuring characters like Boogerman and Earthworm Jim, many of the characters' voices and dialogue were voiced by none other than Dan Castellaneta, the voice of Homer Simpson. When this game released, critics trashed it, with multiple outlets giving it scores of 3 and below, some even saying it was the worst game that they had played up to that point. I don't think it's that bad of a game. I also don't think it's good at all. As a game, when you go back to it today, it's just slow and clunky and not very fun to play, which is ultimately the biggest sin of a video game. In terms of presentation, not only do I find it not very funny, I also find it quite distasteful in places as well. I would pass on this one unless you're really curious for some 90s nostalgia. The other game... Going this way.
Sun's out, glasses out. Let's go.
The other game that I found was the Sonic racing game on the PS3. Have you played this game? If not, why? I think that Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing is really an essential kart racing game. The sequel to this game, Sonic Racing All-Stars Transformed, I think of all the kart racers out there, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you're the GOAT. We all know this. Let's not debate it. But the second best one, I think Sonic Racing All-Stars Transformed. If you don't have this one, you've got to pick this one up for your collection. It's a super fun game.
Very happy about that.
Yeah.
Would you sell the game by itself?
Yeah, 25.
25?
Yeah, 20 bucks.
20 bucks?
20 bucks.
I'll do 20. Let's do it. This is a game that I think is a lot more fun to play on the Switch right now.
Sells for 30, 35?
That's pretty good. That's a good deal.
You get that PS3 lot over there?
I did.
Yeah.
$100.
Everything?
And it was like
Was it backwards compatible?
a ton of stuff. No.
Want to put it in the cart?
No, thank you though. Yeah, I'm afraid it's gonna get smushed in about 5 seconds. You're finding today.
After GoldenEye came out, Doom immediately felt archaic to me, especially because archaic.
The goal is not to buy the whole swap meet, guys.
But it kind of is. I mean, we have no shame.
We're pretty close to doing it.
Yes.
We already offloaded one whole cart full.
Yeah.
I didn't like it back then, but I love playing it now. Just grabbed ourselves Tenchu Wrath of Heaven on the PS2. This game's gone up a little bit, actually. Let's take a walk. I got to get this thing resurfaced and make sure it works, but very happy to find this for $5. This will definitely go on my Goodiez profile for the manual hunt. Blake, you said that you stand up for yourself. When you stand up, are you at about like navel height? This morning is going great, but Chris comes up on a huge bin, a double bin of a bunch of consoles and a bunch of games.
Nah, probably 300. I think there's Mario Kart for Super Nintendo. I mean, there's a couple decent games in Wavebird. You want to go through it all and let me know what you think.
Now, a lot of this stuff is hit and miss. You don't know at a swap meet if when you come up on a bin of stuff like this, if this is someone's broken stuff pile that they're trying to repair.
It's just I never know with the systems. Like if
You never know if they work.
You know?
Yeah, if you got to do new pin connectors. To me, I really have I haven't tested any of it.
Or maybe it's some other reseller who just threw them all into one spot. Who knows?
It's so close because if that Wii U's broken, as a lot of the Wii U's have had the memory issues, and you can find the consoles pretty quick, but usually the gamepads are hard to find. There's a lot of loose discs for GameCube games, but they're not high-value GameCube games. They're kind of mid-low-tier GameCube games.
It's not a slam dunk. You don't know if this is a bin of broken junk. You also don't know if this is all working stuff, and it's potentially very profitable for Chris.
Oh my gosh. Blake is currently talking on speakerphone in public.
Bro, Chris is going to take the risk on these, and I probably would have done the same. I think he got a great deal on it.
You gotta go back to your car again.
Mr. Sauce.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. No problem. I hope it goes well.
This has been a crazy morning, and there's still more to go.
What year is this? 1983.
I don't know. This Atari Kids controller is one of those things that I've not seen before, but I'm not also very familiar with Atari. It has a Cookie Monster overlay on it, and this controller is huge. It takes up like this much of the box. But whenever you see stuff in box, it just automatically makes it more interesting. This booth had a few items for the collection, not for the manual fund. Check this out. Anything N64 era I'm interested in, and this is a set of 5 book covers, as you can see from different properties here. Donkey Kong 64, Mario Kart 64. Okay, I mean, look at that. Link, let's go. It's the original from book covers. But I'm going to cut this up and then frame it and then put them up around. But they're official. They're the real thing. I wonder if you can grade book covers. I'm sure in the future someone will be watching you open this going, you should have graded it.
That's cheap, $5 a piece.
I know. I'm going to get it. And then let's see if he'll do both of these for 100. That's actually pretty cool. This Donkey Kong artwork here. Yeah, I'm going to cut these out and frame them because they're just so cool looking. Did you have these as a kid? Did Did you? The other one is for my Dreamcast collection, and that's Spawn in the Demon's Hand. Outside of the N64, maybe the PS1, Dreamcast is probably my favorite console.
Yeah, man, it's clean, dude. It's clean. It's a great game, too.
If you played this one, let me know what this game is about.
Blake just got this shirt. A zinger.
A zinger?
A zinger Z.
Bro, how much does that shirt go for normally?
At least 500. At least.
And he's selling it for 20 bucks?
20 bucks. Hit me up.
Grab these Rugrats watches. Rugrat watch. Thank you. Hey, why not?
They're worth like 50 bucks, I'm pretty sure. 2 watches.
I can't list those on my Goodies store because they're not video games, but have you gone to my Goodies store yet? Go to my Goodies store. Check those out. 10 bucks each, or 10 bucks for both. That's a deal. The clock is ticking. I need to get home. Chris has had to go back to his car twice to unload his wagon. If that's any indication of how today has gone, that's the indication of how today has gone. That's what I'm trying to say. Which leads us to the subject of the series, Clayfighter Sculptor's Cut. Released in 1998 as a Blockbuster exclusive for the Nintendo 64, it's estimated that about 20,000 copies of the game have been made. The game featured a number of gameplay tweaks, including new voiceovers, a new intro sequence, and removing the Killer Instinct-style combo system. As a game, it's okay. It's not that much better than the original, but it is notably better. However, the most notable thing about this game is certainly its value. Now, admittedly, it is a little strange to be spending so much money on a manual for a game that is so mediocre at best. To me, it's just an interesting idea that we value things so much that are generally not very valuable. I think there's a lot more to learn and understand, not just about collectibles, but about ourselves. We're gonna go to Graham's booth one last time, and he wants to fire sale all this stuff. So check this out. As we're wrapping up, Graham also offers everything on this table for $100, leaving me with $1 left. So I got all this. Will you take $1 for that Super Mario Brothers Wii book?
Just have it.
Here, at least take $1. I don't know what it is with strategy guides lately, but I've been enjoying those. About to show you another one too. Okay, now I don't have any cash left. You know, pro wrestling with the, incredible severed head bit cover. I mean, that's iconic. I'm bankrupt. Probably the most interesting one in here is... Caught it! Come to Goodiez and help bail me out, everyone, for my impulsive buying decisions. It's a cue card version of it. Ridiculous, man. Thank you. Also, Batman Returns on the Sega Genesis. Someone paid $54.95 for that originally. Nothing too crazy in here, but at the same time, you just don't see Sega Master System games all that much anymore. Thank you. All right, I've definitely overspent today. I need to stop. But there's one more table. What do you think? You gonna get some more stuff?
Maybe.
I know, that
Looking.
About to leave, and then grab this Halo guide and Looney Tunes Racing, 20 bucks for both. I just think this is so awesome. When's the last time you guys had a swap meet haul with 3 wagonfuls of things?
Month ago.
Month ago?
I think this is the most I've probably ever bought.
Yeah.
That's 3 full hauls I had to make to the gym.
A lot of this stuff I knew was going to be coming. Graham let me know about these things here. I'll see you on the next one because the next one's... I'm looking at all the stuff on the floor over here for the next one. I haven't recorded it yet, but... in California, at least... game hunting is not dead. And I cleaned out his table at the end because Chris kept lowballing him, but I was like, nope, I'll give you the fair price. Normally, what I have to do is take what I've sold against what I've spent and put some into the manual fund. Here's the problem. I haven't been able to keep up with sales as much as I'd like to because I've just been so busy. Of all the things that you got today, what's your favorite thing that you got?
Ooh,
for
I
you
like
guys?
the shirt that I got. It's a
Did
pretty
you-
good one. Guns N' Roses, Metallica.
Did you get that today?
I did.
There's not going to be anything going into the manual fund today. However, as I am able to sit down and list this stuff more and get back on it, we'll start to see more of that. And at that point, I'll be able to put some more money into the manual fund. Tell us about this shirt again.
70s anime shirt, Mazinger. Mine's better than Chris's, that's all I know.
Of all the things that I found, I mean, I love it. Probably the N64 book covers are my favorite, but also this Tetris. Yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more about value. That'll be a good one. I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here.